Plug Podcast have partnered with Dubby in an effort to grow together. The Plug Podcast has made the decision to get a sponsor. Our reason for this, no flawed ingredients. It's not 2018 anymore, and energy drinks need to evolve. Dubby achieves its smooth, effective focus with a high-end tasting experience while using no sugar, no fillers, and no artificial color or dyes. It's called Being Better. Focus and win more. Our coffee fruit cherry extract is the star of the show. This ingredient is what makes Dubby unique and helps to provide smooth and effective focus and energy, making it perfect for anyone who needs to conquer a task. Best-in-class taste, smooth focus and energy isn't enough. Dubby flavors are created with one goal in mind, to taste unlike any other beverage. We combine bold and unique flavor combinations to craft an experience for your tongue with each and every sip. Use promo code ThePlugPodcast for 10% off your purchase.
Dubby Dubby.
You're listening to the Plug Podcast, music and more with Bushy and Metal Mike.
All right, you know where you are. You are at the Plug Podcast, music and more. I am Bushy. We also have Metal Mike. And Metal Mike, who's the long hair? How'd we get a long hair on the show?
I know, I'm jealous, man. He's got this like long, luscious hair, and I'm just a, curly Q. This is somebody. What's really cool about this for long-time listeners is this is 3/4 of almost a Knights of the Turntable reunion.
Just about, yeah.
Yeah. Anybody who doesn't know what that's about, that's from the TMS days. This is my good friend, and he is the founder and co-owner, was for the longest time the owner of Cranium Radio. You've heard me mention Jeff on this podcast several times. I'm talking to the listeners here. And he is now here in the flesh, man. He's here. We're going to have kind of a discussion, kind of a musical origins or whatever. And find out more about Jeff Allen, man. My good friend Jeff, our good friend Jeff, man. We all go back. Welcome to the Plug Podcast, my friend.
You guys, thank you for having me. Bush, Metal Mike, what an honor to be on the show with you guys.
Well, here's the thing, man. It's kind of a long time in coming, though, because it's like I've been meaning to have you on, and then I was like, well, now that I'm like business partners with the guy, I really have no excuse at all. So it's like, I got to get you on, man. And I figured we would have you on first, since you're the Cranium, like I said, the founder of the Feast, so to speak. Jeff was at one point in time part of TMS. He left TMS because he kind of felt constricted with the metal thing. He loves metal, obviously. Look at the man. He bleeds it. He uses it. Look at him. He's fucking metaled right now. You can see it.
It's metal tattoos.
Right. Yeah. But with that being said, he loves other kinds of music as well. And he wanted to, open up the palette, so to speak. So him and another former colleague of ours formed Cranium Radio. And
Walter Greggs.
Yeah. Good old Walt. Hey, Walt. How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well, man.
Yeah.
I would love to talk to that guy again, because I used to give him so much crap for the music he played, and now I listen to it.
Yeah, now Bushy listens to a lot of that stuff, man. So
Yeah. No, Walter's the one that really got me into it. By sheer accident, I would probably say.
Well, you were in a band, right, at the time?
Yeah. He asked if he could do an interview with our band. I'm like, oh yeah, sure. So he came down to the studio, did an interview with us. It was cool. A couple weeks later, he hits me up. He's like, hey, I just want to let you know, I'm gonna air the interview this week. I'm like, oh, cool. And you go, well, what's it take to be a DJ? He's like, well, the internet, some music, a microphone, some dedication. I'm like, I think I can do that. So that's how I got started.
Right. And the thing about you, Jeff, I remember I listened to your first show because we were at TMS at the time. And I thought, well, this guy's been doing this forever, man. You were like a total natural, where I think with me, and it's weird, I know this is going to sound crazy because this is a guy who's actually done open mic night done stand-up open mic night, which was nervous as hell. Ended up getting a standing ovation, though. So thank you very much.
They were being
With that being said, though, I'm not going to lie, Bushy. And I heard that, bitch. I'm not going to lie. I was just as nervous or more nervous doing this on the air live than I was doing stand-up. And that's kind of crazy when you think about it, man. Because the thing about doing stand-up, where I think with, like, if you're in a band, you might be up on that stage scared, and you got the same vibe from the crowd where they got their arms folded and got this entertain us motherfucker look on their face.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're all there together, so you're kind of in it together. When you're doing stand-up, man, you are on your own.
Yeah.
And when I did the DJ thing, it was so weird. I mean, it was pretty bad, but I just remember being conscious, like, how many people are actually listening to me right now, and do I sound like an idiot? And the thing is, though, and we can't really mention TMS without mentioning the last part of the original Nights at the Turntable. That's our good Scott Green.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We love you, Scott. And Scott, he took a chance on me, man. We talked about it today earlier. I talked to him, and he was just like, "Yeah, dude, you were all like nervous and kind of." And I was like, when I saw Scott's ad to when he said he was looking for online radio personalities and DJs, I was like that little kid in the back, just kind of sheepishly raising his hand up almost when I answered the ad, because I was a fan of the Rock and Metal Combat podcast. That's how I found out about TMS. That's how I found out about Scott. And then, of course, and as you know, like, eventually, Ralph, Dr. Fuck, Ian, Wadzilla ended up doing shows for TMS, and then Ian left for a while and went to Cranium. I mean, in many ways, TMS and Cranium, especially at that time, were almost like sister stations. I mean, it's very incestuous between us. There's no doubt about that, man. But yeah, I mean, that was how it all got started as far as us, man. And I remember when we did do Nights of the Turntable and the chemistry we had, and us busting Bushy's chops for liking things like Judas Priest Turbo.
Yeah, oh my
hot
God.
take sometimes. But it was just so much fun. It was so much fun doing that show with you guys. And
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I'm having a hard time remembering when that came about, because I remember when my first show was, because Scott obviously brought me in too, and he brought me in because I was very animated on YouTube doing album reviews. Mm-hmm. But you want to talk about Green? I was so bad my first show and I didn't go on until 9 o'clock at night on a Sunday night. And I think I started drinking at 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, and I was so bad that at the 1 year anniversary, I took a bunch of clips from that first show of me on the mic and played them, and we made a drinking game out of the show. And I said, okay, every time you hear me say, "Oh man, I'm having a good time," we drink. That night, because of how many times throughout that first show, "Oh man, I'm having a good time." I think I called, like, Scott an ignorant something. It's probably a foul word. I was like, man, I was just bad.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, so in contrast, the first time I hear Jeff, not knowing him that well, I knew you were a friend of Walter's and everything. So I knew a little bit about you. You do your show, and I'm like, man, this dude sounds like he's. So I asked him, like, Jeff, man, are you a veteran at this? Because you sound like you've been doing this all your life. He's like, no, bro, it's my first time. I was like, well, holy shit, man.
And to be fair, I was scared shitless inside too. I was, shaking like.
But it didn't show. Yeah. It did not come across at all, dude. You were just Mr. Smooth.
And I think, so before I got to do my first show, I did like 4 shows with Walter, where I went to Walter's place and basically was like, a co-host, much like Bildo.
Yeah, with my show, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, that's how it got started. When I said, well, I think I can be a DJ. So, well, why don't you just come on over for a few shows, be my co-host, see how it rolls? And
well, yeah, it makes sense. I mean, that's kind of what happened. Like, I started on my own, and then eventually my big brother wanted to be in on the fun. Scapegoat, who does the amazing editing for the video.
Everybody wants to be in on the fun, man. Everybody.
And then Bill Roseberry, my brother from another mother, and it's just kind of taken off from there, you know. And here we are.
You got a lot of brothers from a lot of different mothers.
I do. Well, I consider you guys brothers from other mothers as well, you know. I do. So, I mean, yeah, you know, but you know, we got rolling, and now we got this whole dynamic and everything going. But again, back to you. So you joined TMS, then eventually you formed Cranium. Now, I know TMS. It was like a 10-year anniversary in like 2024. So how long has Cranium been in existence now?
We went on the air the stroke of midnight, January 1st, 2018.
Wow.
Okay, so you're a couple years shy, man. You're like, yeah. Yep. So we're gonna have, and like I said, about a year ago, after TMS and all that went down, you know, you asked me to come to Cranium, and you said, dude, don't worry about being an owner. Just focus on doing your show, man. And it was very much like Star Wars, give yourself to the dogs, you know. And so I did, and one of the best decisions I've ever made. I just want you to know that. And but I also feel like it's kind of like metal. Like once you go down the metal path, no matter what band you start out with, like Brian Slagle actually told me and Bushy when we interviewed him that he has a really good friend that his gateway band was Poison. I wanted to give that man my condolences, but by the same token, I'm like, well, that's still cool though that you know that you started off here like Bushy.
Yeah.
But now he listens to really good metal sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. But no, but what surprises me about Bushy, man?
I think it's breaking up. I think I'm losing the steam.
Hey, real quick, does this sound like somebody hanging up?
But all joking around aside, I knew Bushy was taking a turn when he's like, "Hey, bro, can you send me some Orbit Culture?" And I'm like, "What?" You know, because it was just Mr. Glam Metal here, you know, Mr. Oh, it's got to be a certain way or I don't like it, you know, and now all of a sudden...
You never sent me that Demi Borger either.
Yeah, I got to still send you that, I guess, yeah. I'll get right on that, man. You know, make a list, dude, and send it to me, and then I'll send you stuff. Anyway, but Jeff, as far as like to go back even further, so you've been doing the Cranium thing for a while. And now, you know, me and Jerry, DJ JD of the Metallicave are your partners in this endeavor. And we're really, really excited. We got a lot of different. We got some DJs who used to be DJs for us at other places that are coming back. Mark Alden Taylor's one of them. He just recently joined. He used to be with TMS. Yeah. We have another one that's in the works. And
a couple of them, and then, you know.
Yeah. And then, well, that guy in the middle there, he's one of them. I don't know when the date he's going to start, but...
July 20th.
Actually, I was going to say, this is a perfect time because as we're recording, this won't drop till Tuesday. That Sunday, July 20th, 12 noon Eastern.
The Power Hour's on the air.
My first show at Cranium. That's right. The biggest party on the internet's coming to Cranium Radio. I always said I would shut that show down and never do it again. I lied. Yeah, I just got a good offer. No.
He got an offer he couldn't refuse.
Absolutely.
You know,
as a co-owner, I said, "Look, dude, I'll quit this piddling ass podcast if you don't come to Cranium." No, that's not true. I did not do that.
No.
I did not do that. I would never leave the plug.
No, man,
I will never leave the plug.
No, you guys have established something, man. I love it.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. But all joking around aside, man, Bushy, we're thrilled to have you. Because I always tell everybody, because I'll have people go, "It's a 3-hour show. How's it called? How come it's called the Power Hour?" Because, mofos, one Bushy Power Hour
is equal to
equivalent of 3 normal human hours. Okay, that's the deal with the Big Bushy Power Hour.
What's going to be
That's
so
why
much fun over here is the no limits. I love that because I've always wanted my show as a party.
Yep.
And, you know, I know a lot of people, their idea of party is like heavy, and that's not my party. Although that's going to be in there too because I like that stuff now.
Sure.
But it's going to be, look, we're going to have your classic hard rock and heavy metal. We're going to have your copious amounts of spandex and hairspray. But man, we're going to have our Milli Vanillis. We're going to have our Plum Hollow bands and stuff like that. Our Dirty Grass Souls, our Willie Nelsons. We're going to have Dead Kennedys, Sex Pistols. I'm going to fit as much into that 3 hours as I possibly can. So somebody comes on and be like, "What the heck kind of this show makes no sense." No, it makes perfect sense because if you're at a party, there's all kinds of music playing, not just one jerk behind the thing playing the same kind of music.
Yeah. No, that's exactly, you know, my philosophy here. I mean, what you just described in your 3-hour show is a microcosm of a 24-hour period at Cranium Radio that you will get all that. Guaranteed. You'll get some Willie Nelson.
I remember when I first came to Cranium, you know, you said to me, Jeff, you know, this is not a metal station, which he wasn't like telling me, hey, you know, he was just, you know, it's art for the ears and minds. My DJs can play whatever they want. In fact, I have a prospective DJ who literally wants to do a hip hop and a metal show, a new metal show. But he also, well, bro, would it be okay if I bust out some Dean Martin and Bing Crosby because I love that stuff? I said, abso-fucking-lutely, because I love that stuff too. And at Cranium, you can play whatever you want. That's what's great about it. I mean, I do primarily a hard rock and metal show, but every once in a while, even on the Metal Mike show, especially now at Cranium, I mean, I was throwing curveballs anyway at TMS, but now, yeah, if I want to throw in something that's not really metal, I'll do it. You know, like I remember a few shows back, I played the Commodores. Don't give a fuck. You don't like it, don't listen. You know.
So I was doing. At the station for, I don't know, it was probably a couple of years ago. I was really trying to continually push the narrative that, you know, it's not just metal, it's not just rock, it's everything. And I challenged our DJs to, hey, I dare you to start the show with something out of left field. And let's see who can come from the furthest out. And it was interesting to see what my DJs were playing like.
Oh, man. You know what? Maybe we ought to try that again sometime, man, because we got some new people at Cranium now and see what they come up with.
Yeah. I mean, I was going back. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to play some Scott Joplin. That's coming out of left field, you know, or
right.
You know, even something like,
you know what? Scott Joplin, man, I love that ragtime stuff.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Yeah, because I've always felt
that with some of the stuff I just got recently, like Phil Harris and Louis Prima.
Oh, cool.
Because I love that stuff. I like music, and I know I was given a little bit of rain for a while at the other place.
A little.
And a little. Well, one instigated it. Sarah, she was real good at instigating it. You know, I want to hear this pop song. Well, you know, as a manager, I guess you ask, I'll give it to you. But you were hearing crap because, hey, that's not metal. And I'd kind of gotten it out of my system. It's like, you know, I wanted to do an old style top 40 show. But coming over here, I can absolutely do an old style top 40 show, but just kind of take it even further to that extreme. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
It's going to be mostly rock and metal because that's my favorite kind of music.
Yeah.
But I love so much music out there that, you know, you might hear Scarface, Hand of the Dead Body, and then Frank Sinatra, Watertown. You never know how my show's going to go. And
but that's what's cool about it.
Excited about. Yeah.
Yeah, and here's the other thing, you know, like, I mean, because when I was with TMS, sometimes I would do this, like this soundbite from Monty Python where it's got John Cleese laughing like a madman. He goes, and now for something completely different. And then it would go into whatever I was going to play that was not hard rock and metal. Now I don't even bother. With Cranium, I don't feel I have to, you know? I mean, obviously most of my listeners are expecting a hard rock and metal, but even within that, I'm all over the place. I don't just play like traditional metal or thrash metal, or I don't gatekeep, man. It's unusual for me to throw in violence and then turn right around and play Tool. I don't care, I love all kinds of heavy rock and heavy metal. So it's going to play, even bands that some people want to gatekeep and, they're not metal. Okay, well, whatever you say, dude, just because it ain't your kind of metal doesn't make it metal.
Well, and I think in terms of music, there's a lot of good music across many genres.
Yes, sir.
And I feel like, trying to think, culminate all that into what you're saying and how, where my mindset was, with Cranium to embrace anything and everything, and even if it's not your cup of tea. And I found first had I had DJ Diosa. She did a show called Aquanet Generation. It was like 80s pretty much, and it was the alternative 80s. And I won't say who, but one of the DJs was like, we're not really going to get anybody to listen to that show. Oh no, the metalheads came to that show. I guess my point was we grow up and we, I was not a Cure fan. I wasn't in Depeche Mode growing up as a kid. I'm Metallica, Slayer, Sabbath, but as I really started to open my mind to music in general, there's so much good stuff, and I always felt like you can only, man, I love Slayer, but I can only hear Angel of Death so many times.
Sure. Sure. And here's the other thing. My goal is to find a yacht rock guy. Just somebody do a whole yacht rock show. I know you do your, classic Trek Impact, and you got 4 different shows that you do.
We've got it covered, man.
Yeah, we do. But I even joked with Bill. I said, dude, you should do a show called Captain Bill, and then get a hat, and do a yacht rock show for us. He just laughed. Here's what's funny about Captain Bill, though. So what's funny about Bill, though, is he's gotten really into yacht rock here a lot lately. He's been listening to it a lot, so which I like that stuff too. I love Christopher Cross and all that stuff. Steely Dan.
Yeah. Now, don't say Steely Dan, because now you're going to piss off Donald Fagen.
Yeah, I know. Did you watch the documentary? Oh, yacht rock, huh? Go fuck yourself.
And I don't blame him, but I think people, associate something, I don't know, too light, like soft rock or whatever. I mean, that's what we called it back then, was soft rock.
Or it was adult contemporary rock.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden yacht rock's a bad thing. I mean, if the guy would have come to him and said, we're doing a documentary on prog rock bands, he probably would have got the interview.
Yeah, for sure. And I think with and I know that the dude who started the whole mockumentary, he did it out of a place for love, because he loved that stuff. Even though he loves all kinds of music. If you watch the mockumentary, he's got literally got an Iron Maiden poster and I think some other metal posters behind him, but yet he said that's how it all started, is he was buying these records at the time. They were in the dollar bin, and he's noticing the same producers, the same musicians, that music scene, just like many music scenes, is very, very incestuous, and it's and I do think it's kind of cool, that within a lot of these areas, like with St. Louis right now, we got a really cool hard rock and heavy metal scene right here, especially some really good stoner metal, doom metal. Bushy can attest. Nashville's got all these are people who play on Broadway all the time, and then Broadway bars in Nashville, man. And now they're forming bands and forming projects like Lost Circus, Jane and the Killer Queens. Some really, really good stuff. Some really, really good rock and metal, man. And they're developing a pretty cool scene. So
Nashville had to change their name, man. They're not Country Music City anymore. They're Music City, because they've got everything going on.
Yeah, because they got everything going on.
Yeah, you know where the country music capital is now. It's Branson, Missouri.
Oh, for sure. And has been for a while, I think.
Yeah, it has been for a while. Yeah.
They kind of, because Nashville transitioned to where it's all music, but it left Branson going, okay, well, we're not second fiddle with country music anymore. We're number one. And it was a good thing for Nashville. It was a good move for Nashville, and it was a good move for Branson. You know, Branson was kind of trying to wedge their place in there anyway.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you mentioned Branson, because my mom used to love it down there. So every year the Tyler clan would make a trip to Branson.
Oh, yeah. Well, I lived in the Ozarks for a few years, right?
Oh,
So
is that when you lived in Missouri?
Springfield.
Yeah. Because I remember I was talking about it. Because now, originally, though, since we are talking about not just Cranium Radio, but your musical origins, my friend, your origins, really, where are you from originally? Is it Chicago?
Yeah, I'm actually from Libertyville, which I want to say just on the conclusion of the Black Sabbath, back to the beginning. From the same hometown as Tom Morello and Adam Jones of Tool.
Oh, no.
And what a spectacular job Morello did with the Back to the Beginning. That was incredible. But,
you know, I got to give the guy credit. I know some people want to give him a hard time or hate on him because of his politics, and you know, and I'm here to tell you right now, I don't give a shit about any of that, one way or the other. I get so tired of these people getting, oh, I can't listen to so-and-so anymore because they believe in such and such. It's like, number one, grow a spine. Grow a spine.
Yeah.
They're entitled to have their own opinions, whether you agree with them or not.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't be a pussy. All right, I'm just gonna say it. I mean, I just can't stand that stuff, and it's on both sides. Okay, so I'm not pointing the finger at just any one side here. All right, and I'm not saying everybody on those sides are those, but there are a lot of them on both sides. Like, oh, you know, if they say something against one guy, well, I'm never listening to Cheap Trick again, or I'm not gonna listen to Alice Cooper and Ace Frehley because they support.
Hey, you know what?
Shut up. Who cares?
It's we see it happen. We've seen it happen. With one of our best DJs here at the station, and it's ridiculous that somebody would, you know, do that just because that somebody doesn't think the same way.
It's outrageous. I've been saying for years, look, if I only listened to or watched people that agreed with me, I could only listen to 4 or 5 artists, and good Lord, I could only watch like John Voight movies.
Well, there's a dude I knew that he had actually told Bill, I can't watch Arnold Schwarzenegger movies anymore. Bill went, why? Well, because he said something against, you know, a certain person. We all know who we're talking about.
But does it really run that deep for you?
Yeah, but I'm going, but here's the thing. Like, this is a guy who's not, I mean, it's not, all he said, he was criticizing him on one policy. That was it. He wasn't saying, you know, like he doesn't have the derangement syndrome aspect of it. He just, I forget what it was that Arnie even said, but I'm going, bro, grow a spine. Who cares? Like, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, you want to know what my political, I'm going to tell you what mine, I have a meme that every once in a while I throw up because I get so tired of people, especially on social media, is going back and forth. Like you're ever going to change the other person's mind. It's like mental masturbation without the payoff. It's fucking pointless, okay? That's number one. But here's the other thing I want to tell y'all. I fully believe in this meme. Republicans are red and Democrats are blue, and neither one of them gives a fuck about you. Get over it, man. Get over it. The only time they care about you is when they want your fucking vote.
Oh, yeah.
They really don't give a shit.
Yeah. No, I agree. I feel the same way. But, you know, you're
pick your fucking loser side and fucking just move on with your life.
There's so much more to worry about.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah. We're in trouble no matter who's
missiles flying over my head. I'm not sweating it much. Now, I might feel it different ways in my wallet, depending on which cycle we're going through, but I've never been one to turn my back. Oh, I'm done. I wish I could leave this place. Sucks. Blah blah blah. I'm just not that guy. But I'm a veteran from a long line of them. You know, I'm true blue American.
And thank you for your service. Bush.
Oh, stop.
Absolutely.
It.
Yeah.
For real.
But the point is, I mean, to not listen to a musician or to not like a certain DJ, and on most of these stations, you keep all of that out of your programming because unfortunately, it is divisive. Because people get so.
Well, and another thing,
just because somebody might think this way outside of that, if they're doing a good show, if they're giving you a good product, if you like the movie, you like their body of work, you're right. Don't be a punk.
Yeah.
They're still going to get my money. Sorry.
And, well, here's to kind of piggyback on that, bro. I also think that, like, sometimes even, and guess what? There's certain artists that are assholes in real life, folks.
Oh yeah, if you vote it this way, don't come.
Or they could be they could be the most wonderful person in the world.
Buy my albums. I'll buy it just to piss you off and let you know I did it.
But here's the thing.
You got my $12.
Here's the thing that cracks me up about it, though, is sometimes you got to separate the artist from the art.
Yeah, and a lot of
like sometimes the artist is an asshole, but it's like, yeah, but and look at it this way: if Tom Morello and Ted Nugent, who you couldn't be more diametrically opposed politically ever, they set aside their differences and just talk about music and focus on that, and they're actually like good friends. Like, if they can do it, why can't everybody else? Grow a spine, quit being a fucking pussy. Get over it. Just get over it. Get over yourself. Like, your thoughts and your opinions are just so much more elevated than everybody else's. Get the fuck out of here, man. Anyway, moving on.
Political portion of the show.
Well, it wasn't really political. It's me rapping on all of them on all sides because I just get tired and shut up. Fuck, man. Move on. There's other things.
I'm from Libertyville, Illinois. I'm from north suburbs of Chicago.
Right on, dude. Right on. And you were born in what, 68, right? Yeah, December of 68, yeah. I'm old. You got 2 years on me. Yeah, no, it's all good, dude. Fuck it, man. You look great for your age. So, my point that I'm trying to, so you're in kind of the same wheelhouse. That you're 2 years older than me. You're 1 year younger than Scapegoat. So we're kind of in that wheelhouse where we kind of grew up on a lot of the same bands. Where Bushy, I think, much like Ian, is kind of like we always talk about all the time. Ralph and Ian, even Decibel Geek guys, timeline is everything. And it is very important. And that's why you got to, as I've gotten older, I had to realize, because when I was younger, I was very rigid that, no, this is the way it is. And then when I had younger fans, and this is like in the beginning of the internet, go, well, Mike, you got to understand, my first Metallica album was the Black Album. Or my first Metallica album was this album. And then I went back and I thought, okay, I kind of see what you're saying, because I experienced a little bit of that even as a little kid.
I did too.
Yeah, some of the rock and metal fans I knew who like Kiss, for instance, they were like the first 3 albums in Alive, but when they heard Destroyer, they were like, what is this? They didn't get it right away. It took them a while. Some of them finally got and said, okay, I get it. It's Kiss with bells and whistles. But some of them guys hated it, man. Yeah. And then they felt like they redeemed themselves with Rock and Roll Over. That's neither here nor there. But again, timeline, where some people, our good friend Mooger Fooger, Bushy, his first Kiss album, and my condolence, Mooger, was Unmasked. But again, it's all about timeline. It's very, very
he doesn't
important.
think it's a perfect pop masterpiece, does he?
He does. He's actually said that if that album had been released by anybody else, it would have been a hit. That because the radio wouldn't play it because it was Kiss. And while I do agree with Shane on a certain extent, that I do think a lot of radio was closed off because, it's Kiss, they're not even going to give it a chance. You could say that about a lot of the albums Kiss put out, even before.
I think in general, the hard rock and the heavy metal still seem to get the bad rap,
Oh yeah.
And even in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I mean, they're trying, but man, you waited way too long.
Well, here's the problem. The reason why they're trying is Tom Morello's part of that committee, and he actually helped select.
Yeah.
That's why. If it wasn't
just
for
really
him,
sucks that we're inducting these guys when they're like half dead or dead.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. And look, and here's the thing. This is why I got a problem with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like, some people go, well, Metal Mike, you give the Grammys a pass. I give the Grammys a pass because the Grammys are just ignorant. They don't know any better.
Yeah,
At least they try. At least the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was ran by Rolling Stone. And Rolling Stone, what's Rolling Stone? Jan Warner. What's Jan Warner? He's a
Look at
He
Metal
hates
Mike
heavy
trying
metal.
to censor himself. Good for you.
He's a heavy metal. He hates heavy metal.
Right.
He hates punk rock. He's a guy that is he's an elitist. Okay, I'm just going to say it flat out. He is an elitist. When I mean elitist, I mean in the truest sense of the form. And he hated those bands. I mean, nowadays you'll have Rolling Stone, the top 100 heavy metal albums or songs of all time. And that's because they got younger people on their staff who are truly fans of rock and metal and more aggressive form of music, even punk. But back then, man, just go back. You can do it. Google it. Go read any review of any album that Sabbath, Zeppelin, any of the great bands back in the day released. They were flagged, man.
Oh,
they
were.
hated them. They hated them.
And it wasn't just even the heavy metal, till
No.
at the station we're doing something called retro reviews, going back and reviewing albums, really great albums, and do they stand the test of time? And so I did Moody Blues, Days of Future Past. The Rolling Stone was like, nah, this is a piece of crap, nah. And then they came back like years later, went, well, we might have been wrong about that. I was like, yeah, you were.
You know what? I'll say it right now. Critics, soothsayers, you are not.
For real.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And again, it's their opinion.
It is.
Whatever, but and at least I'll give them this. They're pathetically subjective, like we are here on the Plug Podcast.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know. I think they have a list of criteria that they're trying to meet instead of just enjoying something for what it is. Like with me, I'm sorry, I am easily entertained.
No, they're pretentious assholes,
For
Bushy.
me
I never
to
said
not
that.
like something, I mean, it's got to be really bad. People try to argue. Perfect example: Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Quite possibly the worst movie ever made. I hate it. I see no redeeming value in it whatsoever.
But you'll still watch
People
it.
will talk about how great it is, and I'm like, are you watching the same stupid film? This is dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean,
And I'm easily entertained. That's horrible.
Yeah.
That's true. You do like some shit that I'm just like, the fuck, man. But anyway.
I mean, everything has its value. It has its place and time. And it's
one person's masterpiece is another person's disaster piece. And there is some truth to that. It's all subjective, man. All of it, everything.
Yeah.
And that's why when Nick the Dick gave us that review and called us pathetically subjective, we're like, well, we're embracing that because number one, we're not the news dipshit, okay? So it's not our jobs to be objective in any way, shape, or form. It's a podcast.
right.
And then secondly, I embrace that. Pathetically subjective. Love it.
Absolutely.
So you came, so you're a Midwest guy like me. See where I'm going with this, Bushy? Like, there's a lot of similarities between me and Jeff, man.
Right.
No, but all joking around outside. So you're a Midwest guy like me, man. So being close to Chicago, though, I can imagine, and being that you're a little bit older than me, you got to see some really amazing tours and shows that I only sat home and dreamed about going to because my parents were very like, it was weird. They let me have the records and the posters, but you're not going to St. Louis.
Yeah,
Rockies and you didn't really have that issue. Your grandma
and I
were very much like, go ahead and go.
Yeah, no, I lived with my grandparents too, and they never censored me. I listened to whatever I wanted to listen to. Go to concerts, whatever. They never ever put any sort of restriction on it, which I'm very thankful for that because I think it's probably played a lot in the what we're doing at Cranium Radio is encompassing everything. My first concert, I was only 15, and it was Ozzy Osbourne and Motley Crue opening. It was Shout at the Devil, Bark at the Moon.
Tour. Oh, I wanted to go to that concert so bad.
And I was going because I was a Sabbath fan. You know, I wanted to hear some Sabbath played live. Yeah, Ozzy too. But I left there going, wow, Motley Crue just blew my mind.
Yeah, what happened? Did they get replaced by pod people, you think? Like, it's one of those big mysteries to me. Like, what the hell happened to that amazing band? Because that,
well, you know,
I still say Shout at the Devil is a metal masterpiece. Bushy, but you can't.
Absolutely is. It's a great album. You know what happened to him is excess. You know, Vince killing Razzle in the car.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like, this bad boy image had to go away, and the record company said, "You better clean it up, or we're gonna drop you. You'll be nobody." And that's when, like, everybody jumped on the glam thing, including Judas Priest and Ozzy and the Sequels.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, this is not...
Even the Scorpions.
I'm like...
Ozzy.
Yeah.
Priest. Even Maiden started using keyboards with Somewhere in Time. So even they got it.
Now,
I'm not saying that I'm not saying Maiden went glam, though. They didn't.
No, they didn't go glam. And that's the other thing, like, a lot of bands get shit because they're not allowed to grow musically. Now, some bands will never grow musically. Slayer will always be Slayer. Even if they record another album, it's not going to come out sounding like Yngwie, so don't expect it.
Right.
Well, I mean, AC/DC is kind of in the same club, I think, in that same category.
Well, what's left of AC/DC?
You know what I'm saying, though. Over year, let's be honest, man. Most AC/DC albums, and even the Bon Scott stuff that I absolutely adore, sounds.
They lost the songwriter was Malcolm.
Yeah.
Without Malcolm,
no, it's over. It's over.
And they can relive the memories. I saw them at Power Trip with CFH. Big
no, but I'm talking about recording any new music, because from what I understand, even that album Power Up, was that what it was called?
Yeah,
those were Malcolm riffs. They were songs that he
they were, and I that's cool, but they're not going to come up with anything.
No,
that's going to touch anything that they did when Malcolm was their songwriter. Same with Slayer. I mean, Hanneman was the guy that wrote the stuff that we all love about Slayer. You know, not taking anything away from Kerry King, but
you're right. I mean, yeah, the truly badass Slayer was Jeff Hanneman, man. So,
you know, like, people giving Metallica shit because they tried something else. So, do you think you're going to get another Master of Puppets?
No.
You won't. So enjoy
I had to accept that.
And let them grow.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I was one of those fans that the first time I heard Black Album, I was like, what is this? I didn't like it. I like some of it more now. That I'm a lot kinder to that album than I used to be over time.
If they would have just left Nothing Else Matters off that album.
Oh, no. That's what they have to leave off that album. I'll take Nothing Else Matters all day long.
That song ruins the album for me. It's like that period where glam all of a sudden kind of took hold, and everybody, you know, Ozzy with the sequence and the bandana around the mic stand.
Glazzy.
At that point, I was just like, you know, I don't. This really isn't what I really want to hear. You know, nothing taken away from the musicianship of these guys at all, but I wanted to hear something a little bit more complex, you know, something more challenging to my brain. And that right then and there, it's like I just kind of made that turn and started going more towards, you know. And by the way, Bush, I did see Judas Priest on the Turbo tour. And it sucked. It was with Doc, and the next night I went to go see Metallica and Armored Saint, and it was way better.
I'd have loved to see Mullet Halford. Yes.
Yeah, that was right there. That was that time, man. Theater of Pain had just come out, you know. Then shortly thereafter, all the others started following. It's like, it's not my cup of tea. I appreciate it more now today, and it's the same thing with like Kiss. Growing up, I wasn't a Kiss fan. I was still locked in like classic rock because that's what my mom had always put in front of me, you know. So I was born in, you know, almost 1969, and I knew the Beatles. When I was born, I knew the Beatles. I didn't have to be forced to listen to them. I already knew them and loved them. And so I was like growing up into that classic rock era. And then, you know, my buddies were like, oh, I got Kiss. I'm like, what is this, Love Gun? I'm like, okay, all right, I guess, you know. Now more so I appreciate them for what they did, you know, for what they achieved, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wasn't growing up a Kiss fan. I didn't do it. So
funny to listen to you old guys, because the very thing that you're like, oh, I don't want to listen to this, I'm gonna have to go search something else out. That's the stuff that was starting to permeate top 40 radio.
Again, timeline, bro.
Yeah.
Timeline.
So, because I didn't know much about metal. I knew Kiss because my dad handed me 2 Kiss records when I was in like 3rd grade. So I knew them, and I knew AC/DC. I knew a couple Sabbath albums, some Zeppelin and Floyd. That was pretty much the extent of my rock knowledge. And good Lord, top 40 starts playing Lita and Ozzy and Alice Cooper, and, you know, Kiss is on there, Molly Cruz on there, Cinderella's on there, Dawkins on there.
Yeah.
So inevitably I was going to become a glam fan. You know, I think it was just a natural step for me.
Dude, Bushy, I remember
it took so long for me to get to the heavier stuff, though, because it took a long time for me to get to the heavy stuff. And I'm not talking to Metallicas and Slayers and King Diamonds and such.
You're talking about more death metal and extreme.
I like that back then.
Cannibal Corpse. Yeah.
And even them, I'm still kind of iffy on, because that's kind of, hey, man, at least sing it so I can understand.
I would definitely check out, I don't know if you've listened to Obituary at all, but I absolutely
I played him some Obituary, and he liked it, Jeff.
Yeah,
I love Obituary. You can't go wrong with Obituary. None of it.
When it comes to the Tampa Bay death metal scene and those bands, Obituary is my favorite.
Yeah,
my other favorite old school death metal band is Entombed. I love Entombed.
Death, I still love all the
Death was great. I like Morbid Angel a lot. I like the other bands, don't get me wrong, man, but those are my 2 favorite, man.
Yeah.
If I had to, it's probably going to be Obituary, but not by much, man. I love me some Entombed, man. Entombed.
Yeah. Don't worry, Bush. We'll get you in there.
That kind of stuff.
Sounds like you're already kind of on your way, actually.
Yeah, that stuff I like. Like not in the morning. I'll punch somebody in the face in the morning when I'm going to work.
Well, no, but
but like when I'm coming home, I turn my satellite from the news to liquid metal, and that's what I'm listening to on the way home. Where it used to be, I would only listen to like Hair Nation or Boneyard.
Yeah.
You know, now it's like, man, I've heard all these songs like a zillion times because they're only ever playing hits. You know, which is fine, but sometimes I just want to hear something I haven't heard, and that's where liquid metal has been a real saving grace. Like Lorna Shore, I had never heard of them. Boy, kick some butt.
Yeah,
that's some good stuff.
See, now you're talking Walter Gregg stuff right there.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I'm hearing so much stuff's just great.
Now, Lorna Shore, I saw them live with Gojira and Mastodon, and I liked the music, but the vocals were very weird to me, man. Like, I mean, I respect their talent, though, but they didn't really grab me. But, man, Gojira, Mastodon, obviously.
Lorna Shore, I got growly, but then I got to, like, Danny Filth, Cradle of Filth, screechy type weird vocal.
Right. And I don't know, man. It was
Go figures.
Yeah. I mean, hey, that's cool, man. Like I said, they got a lot of fans, too, man. I mean, I'll tell you what. The people that were there were just as into them as they were Gojira and Mastodon. I'm here to tell you.
I like Gojira a lot. I
love Gojira.
Yeah.
Gojira rule.
I am way too unfamiliar with them. I played a song at the other place for a birthday request. A guy had given me 4 songs he wanted to play for his girl. They couldn't even listen to the show, so I had to archive my show and send it to him so that his girl could hear that he had made these requests for her. I didn't hear one Gojira song. I dug it. Other than that, all I've heard is what they did at the Olympics, and I dug that too.
Yeah, they're
that
badass.
was pretty
dude.
badass what they did at the Olympics. I was like, hey, Olympic Committee, are you guys listening? You need to have Metallica at Los Angeles for the next games. You want people to watch? You want people to listen? You want people to participate?
I mean, honestly, it defies it blows me away that the NFL hasn't really had Metallica do a Super Bowl show.
Well, dude, the Super Bowl in San Francisco this year.
I don't know where it's at this year, but
in the next couple of years, the Super Bowl's in San Francisco. They would miss a golden opportunity.
I
think so too.
Especially with as big as this tour is.
They already did. So they had, I believe they did have it at Levi, isn't that Levi Stadium or whatever it is, where the Niners play? They had the Super Bowl there one year, and instead of having Metallica play the halftime show, Metallica played a show a couple doors down, and drew way more people. And again, we're talking about the NFL, the No Fun League, the
That's
league,
true.
the league that
stadium,
remember
the
you
next-
guys. This is how
Levi in San Francisco,
this is how stupid the NFL is.
Santa Clara.
They said to Tom Petty, "You can never come back and play the Super Bowl because of your stage, which was in the shape of a flying V." And they said, "Oh, it's a phallic symbol." Like, it's a fucking guitar.
Jeez.
So they said, "No, you can never come back and play." So they're idiots over there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they
dumb
are.
because
When it comes to that, they're idiots. So
Prince did the
hopefully-
halftime show, and he's basically a walking phallic symbol.
Well, he's dead now, but yes, he was.
Ouch. Rest in peace.
I'm not putting the guy down. I'm just saying.
So yeah, so
He's
the
dead.
Olympic Committee would be wise if they're like, aha, people like metal. A lot more people than we thought. Oh, let's get Metallica.
Well, considering the fact that when you go to NFL games, what are they playing over the PA system before the game?
Ring the bell tolls.
Ozzy, Guns N' Roses, like hello,
Yeah.
Metallica, like hello. You know, like it doesn't make any sense to me. But hey, man, whatever.
Halftime shows are
Whoever's running that must be the same fucking idiots running the Grammys.
They're
They're clueless.
they're trying to keep the kids from having their parents change the station. That's what I'm convinced of. You know, they're not putting any of these rock bands, metal bands. They're doing whatever the flavor of the month is.
Yeah.
What's in there to keep the kids happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Our
the kids have
demographic
control
is
of the
not a
television.
demographic they care about. They care about the 18 to 34-year-olds.
Oh, yeah.
We're the old guys. Even I'm the old guy now.
Yeah. Well, you are.
Hey,
Yeah, get off my lawn. Yeah.
Damn kids.
Yeah. But anyway, man, so you got to see Ozzy and the crew.
Yeah.
Man, that must have been a great concert. I mean,
Yeah.
dude.
It was, but like I said, the night it was 86 Memorial Day weekend of 86. We went and saw Judas Priest and Dokken, and then the next night it was Metallica and Armored Saint. Master of Puppets had just come out, and so obviously Cliff was there, and it was absolutely amazing. And then I think it was probably like a month later they came back through and they were opening for Ozzy.
My brother saw that tour in St. Louis, man. He said it was phenomenal.
Metallica absolutely destroyed Ozzy. As a matter of fact, Ozzy, he's like, "Oh, Dake's back's hurt. We're not going to play Paranoid. Good night." And got out pretty quick. And I was like, huh? So Metallica really did a number on Ozzy. But
Well, Ozzy flat out said that. He said that. He was like, man, they were really good.
so there was, back in Chicago, big shout out to everybody back in the Windy City. We had, you guys all remember when there was Z-Rock?
Yeah.
We had Z-Rock, and then all of a sudden,
You used to
it was
listen to
gone.
Z-Rock up there in Watertown, New York.
Yeah, and it was gone. One day it was just gone.
Yeah.
So the guys that were at the local rock station that had kind of went from classic rock to, I don't even remember what, like oldies, They started a show on the AM side that would start at 9 p.m. and run to like 1 a.m. Scott Loftus and Glenn the Phone Man. Big shout out to the guys at RPM, Real Precious Metal. Those guys, when Metallica got done playing that show with Ozzy at the UIC Pavilion in Chicago, they went down and they picked up Metallica and brought them back to the station where they did like this massive interview. And I've got all 4 parts of this interview, but that does come up. They're like, yeah, Ozzy kind of left early, huh? What happened? It was like, well, we know what happened. You absolutely smoked them. So yeah, I've gotten to see some pretty cool shows, man.
Oh no, you've been yeah. I mean, I've seen some great concerts too. Don't get me wrong, but you know,
yeah, St. Louis, Chicago, a lot of that's definitely like Metallica was always coming to Chicago. They love Chicago, so you know, yeah. And those guys, you know, why are they where they're at? Because they're road dogs, man. They are road dogs, man. Yeah. That's how they made it. If they don't sell another fucking album, who cares?
Right.
They don't really have
to do is go play a show.
Interestingly enough, when I saw Metallica, I was on the Justice for All tour with Queensryche opening. And Queensryche had just had Operation Mindcrime come out. And that was a phenomenal show, man. You know, it was pretty badass, man.
I got to see Metallica Monsters of Rock with Kingdom Come and Van Halen and Dokken and Scorpions.
Oh, Kingdom Clone? Yeah, I remember those guys.
Yeah. Everyone called them Kingdom Clone.
Well, I'm sorry though. It was blatant. It was a blatant Zeppelin ripoff.
Well, you know what? But here's the thing, and here's what I've come to think about. Like, do they sound like Led Zeppelin? Well, yeah. Well, why do they sound like Led Zeppelin? Well, because we like Led Zeppelin. So of course,
fair enough. I don't mind a band being influenced by a band. I don't mind listening to a band and going, oh shit, I hear a bit of so and so in there.
Yeah.
But man, I mean, they sounded just like.
I totally disagree.
Oh, come on, Bushy.
So this Greta Van
Come on,
dude. Those guys, you know, they sound a lot like Led Zeppelin, but that's
who?
Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah. See.
Yeah. So it's okay. I mean, it's all right. You know, a band comes. I mean, all they're doing is like showing that this is what influenced us. That's why we are who we are now. You know. And
look, I have no problem with a band or an artist wearing their influences on their sleeves, but I do feel that Kingdom Come, especially even more so than Greta Van Fleet, sounded like the first time. I shit you not, Jeff. The first time I heard it, I was like, oh, you know, because you got to remember, Zeppelin had done the Live Aid. They had done the Live Aid, and they had Jason Bonham on drums. So the first time I hear Kingdom Come, I turn around and I go, did Zeppelin do a new album with Jason? Like, this sounds like Zeppelin, man. And no, it's a new band called Kingdom Come. And I think what really bothered a lot of people is the fact that they didn't really, and it's in interviews, they didn't really respect the fact that they were like literally borrowing. You know, they wanted to try to pass it off like it was their own. Dude, come on, stop. Just stop.
I don't know. I've listened to it since then, and you know, I hear the influences, but I mean, hey, let's be realistic. You know, Jimmy Page, he was not exactly the cleanest guitar player.
No.
So these guys are, you know, so I didn't really feel like there was that sloppiness there that, you know, they're ripping off Led Zeppelin, you know, it's their influences. So if they sound a little like their influences, well, okay.
Again, a little is one thing. I felt they sounded
my first experience with them
is my personal opinion.
Is hearing Do You Like.
Apparently I'm in the minority though. And you guys
I don't. The guy, maybe he's plant-like in his vocals, but I don't think they sound like Zeppelin.
I don't either.
You don't? Really? You don't hear? Man, I do. I think.
No, not really. No. I don't.
I thought it was pretty fucking blatant myself, but all right.
Just because you're an old, crusty elitist.
No, I'm not, dude. See, I take umbrage with that. Number one, Jeff's older than me, so fuck you. Secondly, I don't think I'm an elitist. I just think that
elitist thinks they are.
And you know what? Oh no, you think they are. Okay, whatever, dude. Like, you're not. about certain things, you're totally elitist.
I think we all have likes and dislikes. You know, there's certain types of music that I'm just like, I'm not really into that. I'm, like
new pop, new country, don't like it at all. I try.
I guess I
don't even like new hip hop.
If I have to be called old school for what I like, then I'm old school.
I embrace that shit.
Yeah.
But everybody has their likes and dislikes, and so what they, when somebody doesn't like what somebody else likes, it's you're an elitist, and it's like, no, not really, I mean, and I try to bring that to the station, is that like everybody here, DJs and the listeners, not really elitists, but more absolute music lovers. And that's what we want here. That's
right.
The kind we want to bring here. And if you're an elitist and you only want to hear metal, cool. We got metal for you. No worries. Come then. And if you're an elitist and you only like rap and hip hop, don't worry. We've got that for you. Come then. You don't have to come for the Metal Meltdown if you're not into metal and you'd rather hear country. We have that.
That's what's cool. I mean, when you talk about some of the online, some of the radio personalities and some of the DJs we have here, man, it really is. Like Josetta, she does 2 shows. One's the Mirrorball Mania.
No, 3 shows. 3 shows now.
Oh yeah, that's right. Now she's doing 3
shows. Yeah. Crazy.
And you got her, and you got. Well, she's got the Totally Tubular on Tuesdays, which is a lot of new wave, synth pop, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then on Saturday, she has the Mirrorball Mania, where she does a lot of disco and funk. And it's great, though. I love that show.
So today she started doing a punk show. So she's nuts. I told her, I'm like, hey, I don't think you have to do this, which really
how many hours is that one?
She's doing 3 hours.
Wow.
So,
all right.
So all total hours, she's doing 6 hours, or she's doing 10 hours a week.
Wow.
At the station.
Wow.
Yeah, that's insane. And I tell everybody, man, I don't want anybody to burn out, because the worst thing to do is to burn out and then have to leave for an extended time and try to regain those listeners back, and I think
right.
That's it.
One of the things I've tried to do with the ones that are coming to the station is most of them I'm only giving 2 hours for now. Get your feet wet, get acclimated, and then maybe eventually you can maybe expand it to 3 hours or whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't want anybody getting overwhelmed at first. I mean, people like Bushy, he's been there, done that. Boom, he can do.
Yeah.
He'll be all right. Mark Alden Taylor, same thing. Didn't have to worry. It's like, here, dude.
Yeah.
And I remember though what cracked me up about Mark though is, I only want to do a 3 hour show. That's perfect, dude. First night,
4 hours.
He's like, well, can I do 1 more hour, man? I'm like, of course, Mark. There's nobody coming on after you, so go for it.
That's what I used to like about my Sunday nights, dude, is go on at 9. Midnight was my cutoff, but I've gotten off that thing 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. The people are in the chat room having a good time. I was staying on.
Oh, man. Yeah. Well, when I first started, I did an overnight show, and it was like a 6-7 hour show sometimes. Because believe it or not, I would have listeners, especially on the other side of the world, or people who were that like the nightlife,
So,
and they would
I heard that this was when I had just first come to TMS, about how Dr. Fuck was doing marathon shows, but then I heard that he was setting up and he was going to bed and just letting auto DJ play.
But people were still sticking around and listening.
People were still sticking around. So I'm like, you know what? I gotta do that too. Fuck, I can do that. 15 hours, no problem. Yep.
Take a nap.
But that's what happens, and so there's this point, a fine line between wanting to satisfy the listeners and keep them there, and wanting them to want more. So I got a full chat room. Hey, you know what? My 3 hours is up. Love you guys. I'll see you next week. I'll be here doing the same thing next week, right here.
What's cool though is a lot of the listeners will stick around and listen to the next person that comes up, though.
Right, which is something that I've really been, working with at Cranium, and now that we're adding, we had a good nucleus. Now we're adding more to it, and we're getting people who are solid, dedicated into what we're doing, and that's the thing, is buying into what we're doing. And
for sure,
I'm not gonna lie, it took a little bit to even convince some of the staff here. I'm like, please be with me on this, that trust me in what I'm saying. I know it sounds crazy, but give it a chance. And now, everybody's drinking the Kool-Aid. Like, yeah.
And you know me, brother. I'm like I said, I've said it more than once. Say it again. Thank you for having me come to Cranium in the first place. It's been a year this past April.
I just started making a list. I had DJ Heartbreaker. She's like, hey, I just read that GMS is closing up shop, and I just started, okay, Metal Mike, who else is over there? There's other guys that I wanted to have here that, they, just didn't work out. But then again, and I'm not upset about that, but I would rather know that right away, that this isn't working out, or it doesn't work for you, or whatever.
Or they're not feeling it anymore, or whatever.
Right. Then it's okay. I'm not going to be, because the type of people that we want here are all the people we're staffing in now that have a massive love for music. And even more so, because I feel like, you guys all probably get the same thing from it that I get. Like, when I'm playing music and someone's loving it, and you're playing tracks that they're like, oh my gosh, I haven't heard this in so long, or wow, I've never heard this before, thank you. It's like the
one thing,
reward.
Jeff, the one thing, you just kind of hit the nail on the head for me. The reason why I do this, and even the podcasting thing, if I can turn somebody on to something new, it might not even necessarily be new, but it could be new to them.
Yeah.
And vice versa. I've had listeners turn me on to stuff I've never heard before. I love that, man. That's why I do. I
did it to Jeff a few weeks ago listening to his show.
Yeah, there you go, man.
Said, hey, you got that white trash apple pie. Yeah, okay.
I never heard that. I'm like, oh shit. That's what really is cool about, so I do a Sunday morning show, and I just let everybody make requests, and I don't care what it is. If you want to hear Britney Spears, okay, I'll play Britney Spears. I'm going to tell everybody that you requested Britney Spears, but I'll play it,
I'll brag about it in capital letters. You'll probably hear her on my show, people.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway.
Because then, as much as I give back to listeners in playing something that they may not have ever heard, their requests come back to me and something that I'm like, wow, I don't think I've ever heard that, And a good example is that, when we bring DJs on, we always ask them, how much music do you have in your library? And, they might say, well, I got quite a bit. I'm like, what's that number? Like, oh, I've got like 5,000. And I'm like, bro, I've got like 164,000 songs in my library, and I am not even scraping the surface of how much music there is.
Yeah, there's so much stuff.
There's so much, and that's why I'm like, I want it all at Cranium Radio. I want it all. I want all that.
Well, that's my point. Is with Cranium, my goal is, in a way, I know this is going to sound crazy, Jeff, but your dreams kind of become my dream. As far as like, even though I had that dream at TMS as well, but it's like I want DJs and radio personalities that are going to bring a lot of different stuff to, even if it's like Mark. Yeah. Sometimes, perfect example, he'll play some stuff I absolutely love, and then he'll play some stuff that I am not into at all. But so what? That's okay, because I know there's also an audience for that kind of music, and people are going to tune in and listen to it as well. And that's what I care about. I just want people to, listen to all kinds of music, and that's what, you told me, man, when I first joined, Art for the Ears and Mind, Mike, and I'm like, whoa, I like that, and that's what we're doing here at Cranium, and I'm really excited about the direction we're going. The people that we're getting, trying to accumulate the best talent, people who want to do this. Because here's what, folks, right now, we ain't making any money doing it.
Yeah, no.
Don't get me wrong. If we could make money, great. That's the dream, right? We're doing this, though, for the artists and the bands that we love. And there's a lot of great new music out there, great new bands that need love, man, more than ever. Because you got your mainstream that's just totally ignoring them. Now, I'm not just talking about rock. I'm talking about all kinds of music. There's amazing stuff out there, and you've got to give it a chance. Thank God for websites like Bandcamp. They're doing the Lord's work as far as I'm concerned, especially when it comes to, younger bands. And I'd like to think in my own way, we're doing that here at Cranium. And
well, we do. I mean, dude, I really like Jerry. DJ JD is a classic example of that. I mean, he's got, the Metallica Cave on Thursday nights, and like Thursday after, I think it's like from noon to midnight, it's nothing but underground and unsigned local bands.
Hell yeah, dude.
Not just from New Jersey, but from St. Louis and from, New York City and from, Arizona and Tucson. And
right on, man. Well, even on my show, I try to play a lot of newer bands too. And especially here, I've been discovering a lot of cool bands here in the Metro East St. Louis area. Even on the Illinois side, I play them on my show from time to time too. So I totally feel you, and I think Jerry. I mean, and again, doing the Lord's work, man. Jerry, Metallica, every show we have here. Everybody brings something cool. Everybody, and like I said, my goal, my dream is to get. I'm gonna say I want what I want is 24/7 live entertainment at Cranium Radio.
That would be really cool, man.
Because I do believe in my heart of hearts, once we get more listeners, you get live DJs, you're gonna get more listeners. You get more listeners, then we can get sponsors. We get sponsors. And we can start making money. And then all these amazing people that take time out of their lives, like our good friend here, Bushy, can maybe get paid doing something that they love to do as well. So, and that's what I mean, even with the podcasting, by extension, because one thing that's cool, they're very, very similar, but they are different. You can do things on podcasts that you can't do on radio and vice versa. And that's what I love. That's why I love doing both.
What can you do on a podcast that you can't do on the radio?
I don't know. Maybe some people. Okay,
there's things on the radio you can't do on the podcast.
There is things on the radio that you can't do on the podcast for sure. But even with podcasting, I mean, there's going to be some people that are going to listen no matter what, whether it's live or recorded. But and I know talk radio does really well all over the country. But to me, they both are similar, but they are different enough to where, one's recorded. Now, granted, once we get our Mixcloud account, which will be this Friday, folks, we're archiving all our live shows. So when if you miss the Metal Mike show, or you miss one of Jeff's show, which he's got the classic track Impact, he has the Sunday morning service. Morning is the morning for the dead. You got your Tuesday night thrash attack. You have and what's the other one? Saturday Night's Live, which is nothing but live shows and concerts. I mean, you can listen to all those shows. If you miss one, because sometimes people have stuff going on in their lives, and we understand that. But now, if you miss that show, you can go to our archive. And what another thing that Jeff's had us do, which I want to expand on that, is we do our playlist. Jeff will even hook us up with a really cool graphic for those of us that can't do it. I'm gonna get that.
You got a graphic designer in the family.
I did, and I got my big brother too. Well, my nephew.
You got two.
So basically, with that being said, we're posting our playlist on social media, and when we do it, I'm going to say for all live shows, click here, which will be the link to Cranium. For any of our archive shows, if you missed this show or any other show episodes of the Metal Mike Show, plus check out all the other amazing shows here at Cranium at our Mixcloud, which is because we want all the DJs to archive their shows, and then we're going to put them on Mixcloud because it's.
I just really have this feeling like if people knew what we were playing here, and Lord knows we try beyond our sometimes the abilities, to let everybody know, hey, this is what we're playing,
This is
when they
what we're
see
doing.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping that if everybody sees, oh man, these guys are having fun. These guys and gals are having fun.
Yeah.
They'll come and go, okay, you know what? Maybe I did miss Saturday Nights Live or the Big Bushy Power Hour, but I'm going to listen to that archive show, and I'm going to make damn sure I come into the chat room. I'm going to make damn sure I listen. Even if you can't make the chat room, if you listen, check us out, man, and let us know. Give us feedback. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, and you know, and everything, man.
No, don't tell us what you don't like. No, we don't want to hear that.
Yeah, you're right. We don't care.
You may have listened to a show that you didn't like, but you've got a bunch of other DJs that are probably going to play what you do like. You know, unless you're just so pigeonholed, I only like this one record by this one band. I listen to it 24 hours a day. Well, you do you, bro. Keep spinning it.
No. I find more and more that people, when they come in and they start listening to what we're doing, they're like, "Holy crap!" You know, and that's the way we want to roll it. Like, holy crap! I didn't know a station would play stuff, you know, and not just, you know, one way, like pigeonhole. We don't want to pigeonhole.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun. I'm really excited to come. I really didn't think that I would come back to radio. I was starting to think about it with another group. And then, as luck would have it, my hard drive crashed on me. and I just kind of resigned myself to, I am done. This is, you know what, I've got my podcast. This keeps me busy enough because, you know, I do the editing and everything. I'm like, I am good. You know, I've done enough. But, man, you miss it. That's the thing, is you miss it. And I haven't done a live radio show in, 2 years, Metal Mike?
Oh, wow.
Hold on that,
November 23 was my last show, so it's
the beginning of 2024 is when TMS, at least my era of TMS ended, though, and the same as yours.
So it was, you know, I've had my break, I've relaxed, and the nice thing is, unless I have to listen to it pretty much for this program, I haven't really been listening to a whole lot of music. So that whole passion for the music is just reinvigorated, because it's like, I know that 3 hours a week, if nothing else, for 3 hours a week, I'm going to be forced to listen to music. So I'm going to be sitting right there.
We don't want to force you. No, we don't want to force you.
You're hearing it wrong. I know what I'm trying to convey here. But I'm literally going to be forced to sit and listen to music for 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's a great thing. I'm not going to be stuck in the boob tube drooling, watching something I've seen a billion times. I mean, how many times can I watch The Big Bang Theory?
Yeah.
As of right now, every single night of my life. That's how many times I can watch that.
I'm the same with Family Guy. I've seen every episode and I'll still watch them all again.
I've got this channel on my system. It's called 24/7 TV. And I got a 24/7 Big Bang Theory. It runs on a constant loop, all 12 seasons, from the pilot to the finale. Now, you don't know where you're going to be when you turn it on.
Yeah.
But I'll turn it on, set my sleep timer, man. I know for the next 3 hours, Big Bang Theory's on, and I'm going to fall asleep to it.
That's exactly what I do with Family Guy.
So for 3 hours a week minimum, I get to just rock out, you know, listening to some cool music, and again, with no strings, no expectations other than, hey, Bush,
no, there's expectations. No, we do have expectations.
Well, that's what I just said, you know, other than Bush, bring the show. But you know I'm going to bring the show. I'm not worried about that.
No, dude, I can't, you know, tell you guys how many times, and it's kind of died down in the last couple years, but how many times I was reminded of how good things were at TMS at one point, when, you know, there was guys like me, you, Ian, Ralph, Mike,
Walter,
Sid,
Scott.
Yeah.
It was brought up to me quite a bit about how cool that was, and I'm like, yeah, but that's past. And when TMS decided that they were gonna close up shop, I'm like, well, these are, you know, while they may be on another station, they're my friends, and I know what they can do. and I know what I'm getting when they come and do a show here. You know, Bush, we know what kind of show you do. You know,
Absolutely.
so that you know, like, yeah, we right from the get-go, yeah, we definitely want the Bush here.
Hell yeah, dude. We're stoked to have you, man. We want Bush, and now we got it.
I'm stoked to be coming.
And like I said, I'm going to reach out to even some other people who have DJ'd for either TMS or Cranium in the past, or maybe both. So
Yeah.
we're
always
right, because I'm also
for-
looking out for new talent too. I mean, I've
Yeah.
already got like several people lined up.
And you know, I mean, that's the thing. And Bush said it, and I think you said it, and you know, I didn't say it, but I'm saying it. Like, Scott didn't know any of us if we could do it or not. You know, he had to take a chance and hope. We've got DJs here like that, and one of them is a DJ that you recommended, Mike, DJ Madness.
Yeah.
He's, you know, the first question is, have you ever done this before? No, I haven't. Okay. But this next statement was, but I have a huge passion for music. All right, now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
You know?
That's
Right.
the
And that's the number one thing I look for, passion. And I'm with you, Jeff, because, you know, yeah, he was actually going to be a guy that was going to do a show for TMS. But then when we were going to shut down, I had to give him the bad news, and I really felt horrible. And this guy was so sweet. He's like, was there anything I can do to help? Can I help maybe keep the... And that meant the world to me. And I said, well, you know what, Steve, I got a better idea, man. And that's when I told him about Jeff and his station. I said, you know what, I think this would be the place for you, man. And the fact was, because at the time he wanted to do kind of like a new wave of British heavy metal kind of show, because, you know, metal station. I said, well, dude, that's cool that you want to do that, but with Cranium, you can open up the palette and play anything.
And
that really appealed to him.
He's into a lot of old classic rock, and even stuff that is not even stuff that I've listened to very much. You know, he's deep into that. So everybody brings their own style to the station. Now there's a few shows that, you know, I'm going to play Slayer, you're going to play Slayer, we know Jerry's going to play Slayer, but still, we still put our own flavor on the show in an overall.
Right. Sure. And then, like I said, we've also got guys like DJ Spider, who does industrial espionage, where it's all industrial rock and metal.
Yeah.
We've got DJ Beck with the Doom Tune, where it's all stoner metal and doom metal. Great show. We've got a lot. So even with the metal, but like we got DJ Spur with the Branding Iron, where he plays bluegrass and country. So we're definitely diversifying. It's not just all rock and metal, folks. And that was very important. When Jeff's like, well, hey man, I'm gonna, if you could, you know, help me out with this, getting people to come. But let's try to get people like not just all rock and metal. I said, all right, man, cool. And that's been the way I've been able to actually lure some people, like, hey man, we're looking for somebody to do this kind of show, but if you want, you can even play this, you know. And it's and also my biggest thing is I look for people who are passionate, knowledgeable, and more importantly, want to do this, want to be here. I want volunteers, not hostages, man. Like,
who said that?
Coach Tomlin.
I know,
but it works, man. It works even in this setting. And that's why I use that, because that's the truth. That's how I feel. Like, if it gets to be too much for you, you know, hey, you know, I mean,
when everybody pulls the cart in the same direction, you get movement.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
You're absolutely right. And on Wednesdays, we have a whole ladies' night, Jeff. Do you want to talk about that real quick? You had mentioned...
yes, ladies' night. We kick it off 1 p.m. with Big Bushy Hour.
And I'll be playing the John Lovett's cover of said song, Ladies' Night. Oh.
I love that. I love it. Woo!
Ladies? We started off with, Metal Mistress, she's always been on Wednesdays, and she's been kind of out there on an island by herself on Wednesdays. And then DJ Heartbreaker, who was doing Tuesday night, a cardiac attack at 10 p.m., her work schedule kind of changed, and she asked to move to Wednesday nights, keeping her same time slot. And I just mentioned, like, hey, ladies' night at Cranium. Somebody else, I think, mentioned, like, well, all we need now is for Joe to go over and do a show on Wednesday nights. And I'm like, I told Joe, I messaged her right away. I'm like, look, I'm not telling you to do it. And if you don't want to do it, it's okay. But if you do, cool, just don't get burned out. And she's like, well, let me think about it. She's like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. So, yeah, I like that. Yeah, because our ladies rock out,
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, basically, man, thanks for coming on the plug, Jeff. This has been fun. And, I know it's kind of turned into a Cranium love letter, but that's, Jeff's, Bushy's coming to the station now, which has got me even more excited. And me and Bushy have been talking about, like, I've been pumping Cranium on this podcast, and I will continue to do that.
Absolutely.
I would
like, to talk about, I don't know if I talk about it here. Maybe you guys can decide whether you want to edit it out or not, but having the podcast get replayed on the station.
I'm okay with that.
If you guys wanted that,
I've got more than enough in the tank now to.
Yeah, we got plenty of past episodes, man. Yeah, we could definitely hook you up, man. Not a problem, dude.
Yeah, no, that'd be
those
cool.
early ones might deter listeners, but.
No, it can't be. No, I doubt it. So, Bush, Rich Olson and the Brothers Grimm. Well, Rich, approached me when the Grimms were at Cranium about doing, broadcasting a podcast. I'm like, yeah, what's it called? And it's called We Ain't Friends Like That. And it's basically Rich and Stephanie and another couple that are friends with them. And basically talking about the swinger lifestyle. So, I don't know. I don't know that we can top that. So
that'd be tough. That'd be tough.
Yeah.
These two knuckleheads talking about Star Wars.
Yeah, and other stuff, man. But like I said, man, I just wanted to say this though before, and I've said it before. Anybody who's interested, if you got the passion, the knowledge, and the desire,
and the cash.
Hit us up, man. Please hit us up because we will. What was the other one?
And the cash.
Yeah, the cash.
Don't forget the cash.
Yeah.
Daddy eats lots of Big Macs, man.
But seriously, all joking around aside, man, hit me up, hit us up, man, and because we'll definitely give you a shot, but like I said, we want people who are serious, not serious but who really want to do this, man. I mean, don't do it if you're going to try to half-ass it. Don't try it if you're gonna like some people I think are in love with the idea of doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to put in the work, guys. Even with podcasting, you have to put in the work. You can't just, mail it in. So, but with that being said, man, anybody wants to hit me up, and there's a few other people out there I'm going to hit up. So, and even if you just want to participate as a listener, man, buy some of our merch. Buy some merch that we're going to have here for this podcast, man. Make sure you check it out. So,
Yeah, I just tell people, come listen. I don't think you'll be disappointed in what we're doing.
For real, dude. I don't think they will either, because like just listening to some of the, like with Gemini, man, with the mirror ball, she was playing stuff I never heard before. I went out and checked it out. It's like, ooh, I want to get some more of that. I want that, because that's how much I liked it,
Yeah,
so,
and that's what I keep saying. Bush, say something, man.
Why am I saying something?
No, I don't know. It seems like we're not giving you the opportunity.
No, it's almost time to wrap up. And look, I get up at 5:00. I'm tired, guys.
I get it, Bush.
But I'm excited to come. And I can only listen to Metal Mike say, hit me up, so many times before I'm starting to fall asleep.
Oh, damn.
Hey, hit him up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on, man.
Oh, it's been an honor, and we will have you back. I would love to maybe do like a
do something a little more
retrospective with you, or maybe maybe a retrospective or a review, or just a discussion on something. We'll find the right topic for you. And but my goal is to have all the DJs on here eventually. Like, I want everybody to come on, talk about their show and what they do at Cranium and all that. So
and I think they would absolutely love that. I think that.
And some of us, like Mark Alden Taylor, has several podcasts. I think DJ Beck has a podcast version of the radio show he does, the Doom Tune. Like, hey man, let's get them all together. Let's not just do a radio network. Let's do a podcasting network. Fuck it, let's go for it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no.
Who knows what can happen? Sky's the limit. You guys, you look like you're definitely forward-minded, and that's great. That makes me excited to be starting up soon.
Yeah.
This drops. It'll be this coming Sunday as this drops, not as we're recording. So yeah, July 20th, I'll be making my debut at Cranium. I'm looking forward to it. Check out all the guys. I don't know the schedule yet. I'll learn it as I go. That's kind of how I do things.
Jeff, do you want to take the moment?
People that come after me.
Jeff, do you want to take this minute to talk about your shows and what time they are?
My shows or my shows? Starting on Saturday morning, Classic Track Impact. It's classic rock or whatever, and that's 9 a.m. Eastern. And then later that evening on Saturday night's live at 6 p.m. Eastern. It's a lot of live rock, live metal. I do some specialty concerts, harken back to the days of the Saturday night concert on MTV. If anybody remembers that.
Nice.
On Sundays, I do Sunday morning service at 9 a.m. and it's pretty much anything goes. You know, I'll start like the first hour, and then I start asking for requests. And people get involved with that. So they like doing that, and I like learning what I start to know people, like what they're going to request. I know that CFH will always request Black Sabbath, AC/DC,
Overkill,
and Megadeth. Yeah, I know that. I don't have to guess. I just put it in there. And then Tuesdays, I was doing 2 hours on Tuesdays with the Tuesday Thrashing. I was having so much fun yesterday that I'm like, okay, I think I can make this work. I can do the 3-hour show. I'll just start an hour earlier, so we're not bumping up Mark. Mark stays in his slot, and for 3 hours of thrash and death with a lot of we talked about the undergrounds. I spent a lot of time going over to Bandcamp and looking like these bands that are putting themselves out there, and some of it's really good. We've found a few of them there.
Dude, you turned me on to a band I wasn't real familiar with last night, and I went to their Bandcamp and got their stuff, and that was Phantom Witch. I was like, ooh, I like this.
Oh, Phantom Witch, yeah. Oh, yeah. Awesome. I played it. Jerry's like, oh my God, this is great. I'm like, Phantom Witch.
Yep, yes, sir. So thank you for turning me on to that. You can catch me every Friday night from 8 p.m. To 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you know what? I think I'm going to cut it down to 1 hour, though. It's going to be 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, we're going to do that, because I being up that I'm up all day Friday, working all day, then rushing home to do by the time that last man, I'm like dragging ass. I'm going to cut that last hour off. I'm going to do a 4-hour show, but it'll still be the awesomeness and the same intensity as always. And then, of course, the Power Hour will be coming back July 20th. What time?
12 noon.
12 noon Eastern. Yep.
12 to 3 Eastern?
Yes.
Yep.
Awesome sauce, man. And remember, I know you're like, Power Hours, 3 hours. 1 Bushy Power Hour equals 3 normal hours, all right?
So make sure you get your times. Make sure you got that blocked off for 3 hours, not just 1 hour.
And please make sure you come to the site, man. Check out all the other DJs. We have a schedule there. It tells you where everybody's at and what they do and everything. We even got Auto DJ. He's amazing, too. The DJ that never sleeps. He's always playing all kinds of cool stuff and interesting.
I I was going to mention one other thing. I know we're not really close to it, but we're getting closer to it. So we have a Cranium Radio Fantasy Football League, and everybody at the station that wants to play is invited to play. And if somebody outside of the station wants to play, they can hit up me, they can hit up you, and we'll get them hooked up with the Cranium Radio Fantasy Football League. It's a great place to come talk a lot of smack.
Yes.
Friends.
We love to talk smack here at Cranium Radio, obviously.
Yeah, amongst ourselves.
Right.
Yeah, we won't talk smack about anybody else.
No, you guys rule, man. We love our listeners.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to say that, talk about, all the things that Cranium does, and, we're very much a family here. So I don't want to, lovey-dovey, but yeah, everybody here likes each other. We all work well together.
And there's no drama either, thank Christ.
No.
Which that's important to me, because I'm in a profession that's predominantly women. And there's lots of drama there.
Yeah.
There is no drama.
Poor Bush, he's crashing.
I'm dying. I would like to say congrats to my daughter. She starts back at our old job tomorrow. I'm taking her.
All right.
So good for her. Little ass is making what I was making there. So she's making as much money as I am now.
Nice.
I don't know how I feel. I don't know how I feel about that. My kid making as much as me. I'm gonna have to.
Well, now you can hand her the bill. Like, go out for some surf and turf.
I know, right? For real. But yeah, Metal Mike. Jeff, thanks for coming on. We'll definitely get you back again. We'll get something a little more topical. This is kind of a smorgasbord here.
I love chatting with you guys, man.
Oh, same. I really enjoyed it. We haven't done it in so long, so that was good. Metal Mike, get us out of here.
Keep fighting the good fight. Stay metal to your dying breath. Ozzy bless. Good night.
Outstanding. Buy vinyl, and we'll see you next time.
During the making of this video, we as the rest of the world received the devastating news that our beloved hero and one of the founding fathers of the heavy metal genre passed away after his long battle with Parkinson's disease. Today, on the Plug Podcast, we mourn the passing of an icon, a true legend whose shadow will forever loom large over the world of heavy metal and rock and roll. John Michael Ozzy Osbourne, born December 3rd, 1948, in Birmingham, England, left this world on July 22nd, 2025, at the age of 76. Ozzy wasn't just the Prince of Darkness, he was the sound of rebellion. As the frontman of Black Sabbath, he helped birth an entire genre, giving voice to the outcast, the misfit, the ones who didn't walk the straight path, but ran screaming through the shadows. With Tony Iommi's riffs, Geezer Butler's thunderous bass, and Bill Ward's primal drums, Ozzy's haunting vocals became the anthem of a generation searching for meaning in the noise. After Sabbath, he didn't stop, not even close. His solo career carved even deeper marks into the world of metal, with albums like Blizzard of Oz, Diary of a Madman, and No More Tears. He proved again and again that darkness could sing, that madness could dance, and that vulnerability could wear leather and spit fire. Ozzy was chaos and compassion, madness and melody. He screamed into the void, but he also opened his arms to fans worldwide, showing them that it was okay to be who you are, to be broken, to be real. He was the unlikely family man, the mad genius, the man who survived most everything that was stacked against him. Beyond the stage lights and the screaming crowds, Ozzy was a survivor of addiction, of fame, of his own demons. His journey was messy, unfiltered, and human. Through reality TV and candid interviews, he let the world see the man behind the myth, vulnerable, hilarious, and, at his core, deeply loving. Today, as the amps fade and the candles burn low, we remember Ozzy, not just as a rock god, but as a symbol. He was proof that no matter how strange the world may think you are, or the humble beginning you had dealt to you, you can still leave a mark, loud, wild, and unforgettable. Rest easy, Ozzy. The throne is empty, but the echoes of your voice will never die. Long live the Prince of Darkness. The Plug Podcast. You can't kill rock and roll. It's here to stay.